So fam, I was privy to an operation. Let's go ahead and get that guy right on camera. So, if you remember in the previous video, I had a guy who was standing, I was a little bit closer, I was over there, and he had, let me just videotape this guy a little bit more. Hi birdies. You know, they're awesome, by the way. They come over and help. I believe they're part of the spiritual world. Helping in ways that are just phenomenal. So, what happened is I was a little bit closer to the beach, and I was taking a nap, and I woke up, and because I was being, harassed, and the guy would not leave me alone, and I felt pressure inside my anus. Now, it's weird to say, I know, but the reality is that I've been through this many times, many times before, dozens and dozens of times where they use this technology. Oh, and here's this other guy's accomplice. They enacted an operation on me, by the way. So they enter your body, and without your permission, by the way, and they use this technology to start influencing you, and so basically it seemed like they were trying to steal a whole bunch of stuff. You know, when you have a significant moment of meditation or insight or whatever, they will come, since they're monitoring you, and since they have you chipped and whatever. They know when there are things that happened that are uplifting. Just in case you wanted to see. These creatures, it's just very interesting. You never know who they really are. Anyway, so there's another guy that was sitting right there. He was a bald guy, and I'm guessing he's part of the cabal. He was a Mason, or whatever the case may be. You usually see them with a child, because they're doing something with the child where they're taking their vibration, their connection, and using it to influence you. And so that's what basically happened. After I videotaped and everything like that, I woke up and I moved. I decided to move. Unfortunately, the Freemason guy, he was this bald white guy who was sitting on the right-hand side, decided to move his stuff over and be in a direct line with me again. And they will use any excuse. For example, he decided that he wanted to surf, but in order to surf, he needed to move his stuff over directly in front of me. Anyway, so because we're connected. Hey, how you doing? Hey, beautiful. Because we're connected to the spiritual world, because we are souls that are in upliftment, because we're helping to change the vibration of this planet. Some say it's a flat world. I'm still not sure about this whole thing, but this place, but there's a spirit here, a very big spirit that's full of love and happiness and desires, and is kind of tired of this bullshit as well, just like we are. Going through these experiences. Oh, by the way, except for helicopters, and while they were attacking, about not this helicopter in particular, but a police helicopter went back and forth a bunch of times, and it was actually very close to the beach. So obviously some type of surveillance. They were in communication. Now this is a military helicopter. Oh, and it's flying right over. Oh, this is a good look. Perfect. So you can see. So y'all can see for your own eyes the truth right there. Look at that. This is what happens with their gang stalking and their attacking. They come right the F up. They're upset. They're upset about something. They had an operation. And, what happens is that, they do leading questions. They do mind control, all that sort of thing. Trying to get you in your vibration. And so what happens is that the bald-headed guy who's probably Freemason or part of this group or whoever, a master, I don't know, I don't give a fuck. He's with his kid, and they started returning, and this is what they do. So after they steal and they get caught, the spirits, our ancestors, our family, the greatest one, says, all right, give back. You've been caught. And I receive a download usually, and it feels like energy being replaced into my right and left hemisphere. And so I get back usually what they've stolen, usually my ability to feel love. And they love taking that. They love taking that ability. So that's what happened. The operation didn't work out. Well, I'll say what happened exactly. Okay, so the guy they started returning everything that they took, and then what they try to do is start evoking emotion in you. And I'm guessing that's why they have the kid, so that they can. And I'm not sure if the kid is a human being or some type of bio. I don't know what it is, but they're able to take that kid's vibration and push it on you in a way, so that you can start feeling love and all the other stuff. Maybe because the children are closer to the greatest one, because they're not as corrupted. Whatever the case may be, they try to invoke your emotional side, and so that's what happened. And they have the ability to know what you're doing. For example, I was listening to a video, that had good music in it, etc., etc. And so, I was feeling emotional as well. And they'll start leading questions for you. And so that's the level that they're at this point. And it's very complicated. It's definitely not a very simple matter. It's very complicated. They have the ability to jump into your brain and evoke this emotion or lead you into an emotional state where you're vibrating. So what happened is that as soon as I was, and they'll question you, they'll talk to you in different ways, and it's a very pleasing feeling. I won't lie. It's like they're trying to imitate God, but in their own way. In their own flawed way. And so what happened is that as soon as I had gotten to a good emotional state where I wanted to vibrate and and invoke love, and was emotional, the guy was right next to me, like he was like right there. And I had noticed, if you aren't privy to this, if you're not a part of these types of operations and wouldn't know, you would fully fall into that state. And then what would happen is that they would steal that emotional body, that energy for themselves. And I'm sure the same way that they've stolen their child's emotional energy, they would do the same thing to me. And this basically has been the plan over and over again, regularly. So what happened is that I noticed what was going on, and then I stopped, and oh my gosh, ain't like that. And so then those two guys who I were showing you before, and they usually will come up with a camera, and they'll be facing you, they'll be doing all sorts of weird things, it's usually an operation. And so the two guys, after I started after I realized what was happening, and I told the mind control to go F themselves, I know what's going on. And then I started questioning, what is it that keeps coming out of your butt? Because they usually are turned backwards from you. So they're using some type of nanotechnology or parasitic entity to enter your body or to influence you in some way, from what I've seen. And so they're using that to influence you. And these two guys ended up in front of me also at some point, taking pictures, acting like they're taking pictures or whatever, but still trying to influence me. And so they were basically trying to everything that I had learned, they will come and steal and for themselves. I'm guessing so that they don't get left behind. I'm guessing so that they can continue influencing the world in some way. And they obviously use accumulation of all this positive energy. Maybe feed it back into a computer. I don't know what the heck they're actually doing. I plan on finding out at some point. But that's what was happening. And I basically said, no, I'm not interested. And then I started asking about their suck butt. And that's what it is. And then guess what happens? They piece the F out. And so that was at the point in time when I started recording. Something said, hey, just record what they're doing so that you can at least show that, there's something actually going on. And obviously this couple, who knows what they're up to. I'm guessing it's something. I've had instances where couples will sit right in front of me and be smooching and loving and evoke that love energy, and then we'll steal it after they're done. This is a very common practice. I'm sure they've been doing it for hundreds, if not thousands of years. But the reality is that this energy, they constantly need it because they're not linked to source. And so this is how they get source energy. Because of the love, because the greatest one is full of love and happiness, and you have people who are trying to evolve themselves, and they like to come on board. They like to chip people. They like to gang stalk and attack, and they've created these ways so that they can steal this energy. As you can see, he's behind me right now. He probably had something inside of me in some way. And just to let you know, distance is not really that important. They are able to do this on the astral plane. So you can't really, it from what you can see visually, does not mean what's really happening on the spiritual plane, on the spiritual level. Anyway, so just wanted to record that instance and what happened, and show the truth. And it sounds crazy, but when you go through it yourself, you'll know. And at least I'm trying to help those who are a part of this system, that are gang stalked, that are mind controlled, that are chipped, that are part of the infrastructure, that are being abused in many ways. And that's one of the major issues that I'm having, that these entities are stealing your free will as well as your emotional energy, your love for themselves, and being very negative about it and attacking and trying to hurt you in the meantime. And that's it.